Hey y'all. Happy Tuesday. Hey Kasia. Hey Scott. Hi you guys. Hey everybody. I'm gonna give everybody just a few minutes to come into the room. But hopefully everybody is having a good Tuesday. Hey Joker G, welcome. So hopefully everybody is doing good. Make sure if you're new, you definitely let me know where you are from, because I did get some new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. Hey, Mr. Spinks, how are you? Hey, Joseph. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hopefully y'all week is going good. Hey, Armando. So yeah, I have a little bit of a headache. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's related to like the weather change or whatever. Hey Lavon. Joseph, do they say let me see. Okay, North Carolina, cool. But yeah, I have a little bit of a headache. So I don't know how long I'll be on here. But I just know the last time I didn't do a live, okay, my mom found out and she was like, "Oh, so you didn't do a live yesterday?" I was like, "No, I wasn't feeling well. I had a headache." She said, "Well, the news people can't say that. So whatever." I'm like, "Did you just come for me?" First of all, so what you trying to say? I'm not committed. So tonight I was like, you know what? We finna push through with this little headache. It's okay. All right, Mr. Spinks, caffeine. What type do you recommend? What do I need? Like coffee or something? But y'all, she came for me and I was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Hold up. So basically she like, get to it, okay? Yeah, she came for me, but so hey Edward. But anyway, so I'm here, so I don't know how long I'll be on, but it is a couple of things that I want to talk about. Okay, so espresso shot, I'm gonna try that or whatever. It's like right here, so I don't know if it's like the weather or what. And I've been trying to drink a lot of water. I've been working out a lot too, trying to get ready for summer. I'm excited. My birthday is in June. Hey, is it just me or does it feel like this year is just passing by so freaking fast? Like the time is passing by so freaking fast. But I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, been working out, getting in the gym. I'll be ready, beach weather ready. Hey, Hawas, thank you. So I can't wait. No, why do y'all hate us Geminis? Why do y'all do this to us? Like, we are some of the coolest people. You know what I mean? Like, you need that intellectual friend, and then that crunk friend is just ready for whatever. We can be all that. Like, that's exciting, don't you think? A little duality. Nothing wrong with that. Well, Lavon, I really hope it wasn't too bad of an experience. Don't use her to blame all of the Geminis, okay? We're not that bad, all right? But thank you, Jonathan. Lavon said y'all have too many people within. Joker G said because y'all Geminis are cool, but y'all are duplicitous. I do agree with that much. And extremely unpredictable, right? Exactly. But thank you, Howise. Make sure y'all coming in. Y'all let me know you're here. It's been so freaking much going on in the news cycle lately. I know y'all have been seeing the churches that have been being vandalized, burned down, desecrated all over the world. It's happening in Massachusetts, Louisiana, California, Sri Lanka, Germany, France. And it's just like, so did y'all see the the trigger word? Well, I don't want to say trigger word, but the new term now is Easter worshipers. Did y'all see that on Twitter floating around? So Joker G saw it. Hey, oh, what is it, Gemini? Turn up, turn up, turn up. Yes, Jonathan, we're gonna get to that in a second. They are. California is like on a whole different level. Okay, so Joseph didn't see it. So let me show y'all this real quick. Atticus saw it. Let me show y'all this. I had to bookmark this on Twitter. Barack Obama. The attacks on tourists and Easter worshippers in Sri Lanka are an attack on humanity. Hillary Clinton. I'm praying for everyone affected by today's horrific attacks on Easter worshippers and travelers in Sri Lanka. Julian Castro, on a day of redemption and hope, the evil of these attacks on Easter worshippers and tourists in Sri Lanka is deeply saddening. Deputy, I don't even know how to pronounce the name, as a Canadian of Sri Lanka birth, the attacks on the citizens, foreigners, and Easter worshippers in Sri Lanka attack the heart of peace for all people internationally. Well, we can all say one thing for sure. They definitely all got this same memo. They all got the same memo. Like, you know, to me, maybe I should have did a whole video on it because I just feel like, you know, I won't particularly say, you know what I mean? I'm into conspiracy theories and things of that nature. But literally, how can you see something like that and not feel some type of way, not feel like something is up, not feel like what people say is true? Like, you clearly all got the same memo. We've seen instances of this in mainstream media where you will have all the news anchors using the same exact wording in their lead-ins, okay, for stories. And it's like you just couldn't fathom, you just couldn't muster the, I don't even want to say courage, like that's not even the right word, but like you literally just couldn't find it deep within yourself just to say the word Christian worshipers. Like, it's so odd. And it's just weird. It's a weird feeling. And it makes me like these people are so connected until they try to drop certain words and terms into our psyches. This happens often, okay? So I guess this happens to be the new thing or whatever. Hey, Beast by Blue. But I'm like, Easter worshipers. So I seen some guy on Twitter. He was like, he's a Muslim. And he was like, since Ramadan is coming up, I'm wondering if Hillary Clinton and all the Democrats are going to wish me, what did he say? Are going to call me a Ramadan worshiper or something like that. I'm like, right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But there's just, I'm like, to me, I'm just bothered. I think I'm more bothered by the fact of it not being genuine. You know what I mean? It's not like one person said it, you know, just to say it. Like, y'all clearly got a memo. You're clearly doing this together. You're on the same team. I don't like that. I just really don't like that. But anyway, y'all. So let's talk a little bit about California. It's always something going on with California. California is the perfect petri dish of policies and social norms and I don't know. It's just a big glop. What word am I trying to say? Glop. Of everything and anything you want to find, okay? It's so much. It's always something going on in California. It's always something to look at California. California is always pushing the needle forward in terms of madness, all right? The media really tries to downplay what California has become and is becoming. And so, I know I talk about California a lot in terms of immigration policies. I think they're heavily gun restricted. They're always trying to outlaw and tax everything. So it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. But anyway, so here recently, you have a instructor. Hey, John Ray, you have an instructor who was asked a question and basically admitted to the fact that they are teaching pedophilia and pederasty as the word she used was sexual orientation, okay? So I actually wanted to do a video about this yesterday. This topic is kind of heavy, like, because it's some stuff that I want to say and I want to talk about. So y'all just kind of bear with me. Hopefully I can get through this. But like I said, I wanted to do it yesterday and I don't know, like I just didn't like how I felt about it. So I figured I would talk about it on my live today. And so far, YouTube has not striked this video, but I will be keeping an eye to see if they do, because y'all know how they do me. So, but okay, let me show y'all the video first. This is what the educator said.
And responding to your questions, and I will go ahead and email you back or give you a call. Now, they're normalizing anal sex and they're teaching that to the high schoolers. You're not going to answer the question. No, I'm not going to answer. But not in front of everybody. You're not interested in hearing on those guards sitting here. Parents are not interested. So I look, the ladies are still sitting here. Okay, so answer me why you're teaching pedophilia in school at ninth graders. Teaching what? Pedophilia. Pederasty right here. Pederasty, as I discussed with you before, twice in my office when we come to view the materials, I've explained to you that this is done because we are talking about historical perspectives of how gender relations and different types of sexual orientations have existed in history. So this is something that's occurred in history, and so this is really important for us to include.
All right, so I want y'all to hear that one more time so you can just take it in.
I've explained to you that this is done because we are talking about historical perspectives of how gender relations and different types of sexual orientations have existed in history. So this is something that's occurred in history, and so this is really important for us to include.
Okay, so y'all heard that, okay? She said basically, she said they're looking at it from a historical perspective, And she also literally, and blatantly referred to this as a sexual orientation. Okay. So there are currently parents who are protesting this. Okay. So this is from freedomproject.com. And I think they did a video on this, but it says pedophilia being taught as sexual orientation in California schools. So government school officials in California think it is really important to teach children about pedophilia and pederasty in a classroom because it is a sexual orientation. That is according to a top official for California Brea Olinda School District, who admitted to parents that it was being done and that it would continue despite the outrage. The implications are mind-blowing. The stunning admission came after a parent information meeting last month for the Brea Olinda Unified School District. Stephanie Yates, founder of the Informed Parents of California, asked school officials why they were teaching pedophilia in school to ninth graders. But instead of denial that such an atrocity was taking place, a top school official confirmed it was happening and acted like there was nothing wrong with it. This is done because we're talking about a historical perspectives of how gender relations and different type of sexual orientation have existed in history. All right, so this just basically repeating what they said. So this goes on to say, of course, if simply having occurred in history means something merits inclusion in school curricular, then one might ask why the birth, life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ or the full text of the Mayflower Compact are never mentioned in government schools. Obviously, this is more to the story than simply having to teach children about such perversions merely because they occurred. Indeed, the comments may be one of the most shocking admissions from an education official in recent memory, and the implications go even beyond simply normalizing one of the disgusting and abominable crimes that can be perpetuated. Consider with sexual orientation becoming a legally protected category. Okay, this is important. Sexual orientation increasingly becoming a legally protected category across almost half of the states already, with Congress working on it too. The implications of defining pedophilia and pederasty as such are hard to overstate. For instance, in California, discrimination based on sexual orientation is prohibited. If pedophiles simply have a different sexual orientation, does that mean schools are required to hire them? All right, so this just goes on to talk about this more, and I will link this below if in the description box if y'all want to go back and read this. But pederasty, okay? Sexual activity involving a man and boy is a homosexual relationship between an adult male and a pubescent or adolescent male. The word pederasty derives from Greek, okay? Now, they're not going to tell you this on your nightly news, okay? They're not going to tell you this on your nightly news. They're not going to do that. But RhondaMary is here to tell you and talk a little bit about it. So, there's some things going on in California, particularly with sex education, and I was doing a little research on this. I think a few months back, and I started to notice that. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in California you cannot even opt your children out of any type of sexual education courses. Okay. So that's first of all. I think we are getting to a very scary place when we lean so heavily on these schools to educate our children about everything and anything. I do feel like when it comes to those conversations and the different nuances or different levels of these conversations, I feel like that should mostly and heavily be dependent on parents. But I do understand that some people don't have those type of relationships with their parents. And so I feel like the schools kind of use it as an excuse to first, when I was in school, our talk was watching. Y'all remember when I used to roll the little TVs into the classroom? Okay, we had to watch the tape of the woman giving birth, and y'all like, I'm so squeamish, so I was like this, like the whole time. And I was in freaking like ninth or 10th grade. What do you think my classmates were doing? Laughing, making jokes, okay? Like, just imagine some of the teachers that y'all had and the type of people these conversations would be coming from. Um, with this whole thing, right? I'm very concerned that the way they're teaching this, they're trying to make it seem like it's coming from a historical perspective. But school originally was supposed to add value to your life, right? So when I say value, teach you how to be a productive citizen, teach you going up into adulthood, teach you very basic skills to have a productive life. I don't understand how learning the sexual nature of relationships in ancient Greece would add value to my child's life. Okay. If you want to teach them the art of Greek, uh, philosophy, culture, that's fine. Not even culture, writings, that's fine. But how does the sexual nature of relationships, ancient Greek relationships, how does that add value to a child's life? What does that do for them? And what's so insulting about the whole thing is that there is so much that the schools don't teach that could be so helpful to children. There is so much that the schools don't teach that could be so helpful to people in their everyday lives. You completely overlook that. I know schools differ, okay? So this might not be the case everywhere, but on a pretty large scale, children aren't learning how to do their taxes. They aren't learning how to become homeowners, how to engage in stocks, how to start a business, okay, and business laws and laws surrounding starting a business. But somehow you can find the time in public education to teach these children about the sexual relationship and the sexual nature of things that were going on in ancient Greek. Like, to me, I just can't wrap my head around it. And so when people say, if you let this in, eventually this will happen. If you allow this, eventually they'll push this. Like, do y'all see? Like, this is not far-fetched. It's already happening. Okay? This is currently happening. Let me show y'all these because this is not new. I don't know how many of you have heard or have not heard about this, okay? NAMBLA, the North American Man Boy Love Association, is a pedophilia and pederasty advocacy organization. Advocacy organization in the United States. It works to abolish age of consent laws, criminalizing adult sexual involvement with minors, and campaigns for the release of men who have been jailed for sexual contacts with minors that did not involve coercion. The group no longer holds regular national meetings, and as of the late 1990s, to avoid local police infiltration, the organization discouraged the formation of local chapters. Around 1995, an undercover detective discovered there were 1,100 people on the organization's roll. 1,100 people. So think about how many people are in the shadows, because 1,100 people, you bold. Like, you bold as hell. The largest group, okay, IPCE, an international pro-pedophile activist organization. Since then, the organization has dwindled only to a handful of people, with many members joining online pedophile networks such as Dan Pedo, Boy Chat, Annabella, according to Xavier Von Erck, director of operations as the anti-pedophile organization Perverted Justice. As of 2005, a newspaper report stated that NAMBLA was in New York and San Francisco. San Francisco. New York. Do that sound believable? New York and San Francisco. This article is trying to make it seem like this organization has disappeared, okay? Yet, literally, it was only 3 years ago, I think 3 to 5 years ago, where they did the most recent sting on this organization, trying to bring down some of the members. Like, when I tell y'all these schools are so dangerous, you already have to worry about the teachers and the coaches and the principals trying to screw your children. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. And literally now they are sliding it in where now the teachers can talk to your children about it as if this is a normal thing. Children are very impressionable. As y'all see, when I was reading on Wikipedia.com, that organization, NAMBLA, wants to make it where it's acceptable as long as the older man didn't coerce the child. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. As a young lady who was once a teenager, where older guys tried to talk to me, okay? Even sometimes just 5, 6, 7 years, it's always coercion. Always. Always. Every single time. Like, even me, I just think about some of the things that were said that I didn't know were not okay. And this is why I talk about the importance of family and family structure a lot. I'm really, really blessed and thankful for the protection of a mother and a father. I honestly believe that kept me out of a lot of trouble and helped keep me help keep me on the straight and narrow. But just imagine, y'all. Imagine, man. Imagine these kids who moms are working 10, 12 hours. Imagine these kids who don't have their dads in their life. Imagine these kids who don't have an adult figure, a role model, people to talk to, people to look up to. And this person is showing them attention or affection. And then you're now making it okay to tell them that this is right. It's always coercion. Children are so easily manipulated. And when I was young, I thought I was grown. You know what I mean? Like I thought I know stuff. I know this. I know that. I didn't know anything. Because it's such a compartmentalized view of the world, and it's very short-sighted, and we're always learning, and it's so easy to manipulate children. We are, all of us, not even just children, we are highly influenced all the time, constantly by media. We are always being bombarded with imagery, messaging, advertising, okay? I've had grown adult friends that wanted to freaking try Molly because of a hip hop song. There was literally a national conversation about eating the groceries because of a hip hop song. If you know, you know, okay? When Katy Perry came out with that song called I Kissed a Girl and I Liked It, I saw more women making out in bars, clubs, social spaces than ever before. Do y'all remember that? Now, not as much. Not so much. So, what I want people to do is stop acting like people in general aren't uh uh highly have high potential to be influenced. And that's not a bad thing. That doesn't make you a bad person. The media, they literally study these things, y'all. They literally study down to colors and how colors make you respond. Thank you, Valdez. Impressionable. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Matt. These companies spend hours. They spend millions, billions of dollars trying to figure out how to heavily market things to us. So, you know, if you're sitting there watching TV and you're on a freaking diet and you see 5 freaking commercials about pizza in a 30-minute span, no, you're not bad for wanting to go get a little Pizza Hut or whatever the case may be. You is me, y'all. I'm talking about me. But look, but that's neither here nor there. But look, these companies have teams of people, mass control, exactly. So a lot of the times we think the culture, society is just naturally moving forward. But there is constantly a needle being pushed, and the media is not telling us that directly. They're not showing us that. To me, this is very scary. I am the type of parent I will want to opt my children out of those type of classes. And a lot of parents don't even know. Okay. We are literally, you know, the mom and dad being at work. All of this is by design. When you come home, what are you going to do? You're going to cook, do homework, shower, get ready for bed. You may watch a 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock special, whatever you watch. Get in bed, do it again tomorrow. People don't have the time to be as engaged with what the heck is going on with their children in school, what the heck is going on with the world, the truth, to what is really going on with government and politics. We're tired. Ain't nobody got time for that. Really. We're tired. That's not by accident, y'all. Like, my hope is if I keep doing this, I can reach more of my peers and get people engaged and get people curious and inquisitive and wanting to know what's going on. But ultimately, you know, people got stuff to do. They want to do fun stuff. Some people may think, oh, that's not a big deal. It happened in Greek culture, so it is what it is. You don't know in what context they're teaching this. We don't know, and we don't know what doors they will open for other things, and we don't know how that can affect children. They're still growing. Their brains are still developing. Children are still very highly impressionable. Imagine that already happening to a child, right? Say a child is in a home where they are suffering through molestation, pedophilia, whatever, and then they come to school and you telling them this happened in culture, and now they're thinking it's okay. Like, the brain is very fragile. The brain can be molded, especially at young ages. This is why they tell children that's the best time. If you want to put a lot of resources and time into your children, do it when they're young. The brain is still developing. That's the best time for them to read heavily, learn instruments, learn different languages, foreign languages. They are still developing. The mind is still working. And you don't know how that can impact a child. And as somebody that has worked hands on with children that have been raped, molested, okay, it can cause identity issues. It can cause promiscuity. Sorry. It can cause promiscuity, suicidal thoughts. Okay. The brain is still developing. And so, like, I just feel like leave the kids out of it. Adults, it's a free country. Do what you want. I don't have anything to do with that. Okay. I think we should be a country, a society of understanding and compassion, but that doesn't give us the right to be lawless or have no standards. I also have a problem when that compassion and understanding is used by people in higher places to promote agendas. That's where it gets very muddy and it becomes problematic. Michael Wright said the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism. Yes, ma'am, Mel, it's so. Camera stage said they want to control the kids. So for y'all that have children, make sure you are very hands-on with them. You know what the heck they're learning. You're able to talk to this about, talk to them about these things. Know what these teachers are telling them. Teach your kids the signs to look for pedophilia, molestation. Have those honest discussions with them. I feel like with the older generations, there were certain discussions that people just didn't have. I feel like they more try to shelter you, to protect you, to keep you away from certain people. You can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. You're going to have these discussions with your children. We have to prepare our children. It's not the government's job. That's our job. Okay? The government is not going to do it. They're not going to protect your children. You have to know what the heck is going on at these schools. It's very important, y'all. I have worked, and it's not uncommon, okay? A lot of these children, our society is so sexualized now. So sexualized, especially with social media, and a lot of these kids being on social media, and they're looking up to these rappers and Instagram models and all kind of people. Okay, I think y'all get my point. But we're already in a very, very overly sexualized culture, society. The last thing we need is schools that are making the foundation to make sexual deviancy okay, or looked at as always just a historical perspective. JT Max here, you have a very beautiful person inside and outside. Hug, thank you very much for this information. You are so correct, California. Thank you. Thank you, Will. John Ray said, great topic for tonight after work. People are being attacked silently from all fronts. If you are a red pill, you already know what's up. Cameron Stage said, control the kids, control the future. That's such a good point. That's such a good point. Like, so, oh my God, man. It just, y'all, so please, y'all, please. I don't have any kids. I do plan to have kids one day, but I've worked with children for years. It's a lot going on out here. These kids with these phones at their fingertips, they have so much access to information, and I don't think you have to make your kids ignorant to what's going on in the world. Just make them informed, okay? Informed, balanced, whatever you want to call it. But you have to know what the heck is going on out here. Michael said Edward Bernays is the father of propaganda advertising. Hitler used his techniques that Woodrow Wilson used. They still do it. And so if Joker G just made me lose my thought. I can't even remember what I was about to say. Oh my God. Anyway, but I had to let y'all know that California is more and more going on. But You absolutely 100% right, Helena. Helena said, I'm honest with mine, not to scare them, just so they're educated and aware of what can happen in the world. Not everyone is their friend. And when I was growing up, I was like very sheltered. I was very sheltered. And so I was the type of person that always like tried to see the good in people. You know what I mean? Like I was that person. Like even to this day, a little bit. But in high school, middle school, I was always that person, you know what I mean? Trying to see the good in people, trying to just believe everybody's a good person. And it's just not the case. And we have to let our kids know that. And it's okay to say no. If your child feels some type of way, like kids can feel energy, kids can feel stuff, you know what I mean? Because oftentimes kids are way more in tune with themselves, more innocent and less programmed when they're younger, and kids can feel energy. They know what they feel, and so it's okay for them to be in touch with it and say something is off about this person. I don't like this place. I don't like being here. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but it happens. Plum J said homeschooling is almost a needed alternative with this mess. You're absolutely right. I really hope like I could be in a position to homeschool. But they've literally set this up to make it as hard as possible. And the crazy part about it is, speaking about California, they have new regulations and restrictions coming up for parents that are homeschooling. So a lot of hurdles you have to jump, and then not to mention it's very hard oftentimes for most parents to sustain on just one salary, especially depending on how many children you have. So Lavon said, I'm gonna put my kids in private school. That's also an option as well. Private schools tend to be a little bit more traditional, tend to be a little bit more hands-on, and things like that. So private school is also an option, but Selena said, I'm lucky my kids' schools are really good. Very little political chat, even with my son, and he's a senior. But yeah, y'all. So I had to let y'all know that. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it there for tonight. I have some more videos coming up this week some stuff that I definitely want to talk about, but I did want to get on here and talk about this a little bit more and to let people know what's going on. Definitely to kind of prepare yourselves, because these things that we see happening, they start somewhere, okay? So, the next thing you know, in a few years, if you see a whole push for this or things being taught in these curriculums, you'll know it didn't happen overnight. They test these things, they drop them out there, and they're like, bam. And so, and you see a little resistance at first with some things, and I just really feel bad for a lot of people in California, because like I said, I don't even think the students, the parents there can even opt their children out of these classes, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. But thank y'all so much. It's been awesome. It's always awesome talking to you guys. You're so welcome. And thank you for everybody that's super chatting. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up so YouTube will recommend this video. Hopefully they don't put a strike against this video, because the like what I'm telling y'all, this is true. This is really happening. You can find information on it. So, I don't see what about that could be particularly offensive. I just don't condone relationships, sexual and romantic relationships between adults and children. I just don't. Now, if you're two adults, it's a free freaking country. Like, do what you want. But It's just too much. It's just too much. So, but I will keep my eye on this as well. We'll see what happens. If there's any updates or further information, I'll definitely let y'all know. Lavon said YouTube is the enemy becoming the enemy of the people, man. YouTube. You absolutely right. Michael Ray said the public has a right to know. They do. We do. And oftentimes we don't know about the things we should know, and we're distracted with foolishness. And this is why I heavily try to base my channel on actual policies, laws, social norms that literally imply things that imply or impact some type of social norms. I try to keep my channel to at least like 80 to 90% that, because a lot of times what we really should care about gets drowned out with straight up foolishness, ridiculousness. They leave us chasing our tails in circles about, just gossip and silly things that don't really matter. So I ain't gonna lie now, I like me a little, uh YouTube video. I gotta know what's going on, in the social world from time to time as well. So I watch those videos too. I might watch me a good celebrity gossip video every now and again, but ultimately it's about balance. It's about balance, 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 balance. So hopefully I can be that person where, after you watch you a good drama or a little gossip or a little tea, you know what I mean? Come on over here for a little balance, the RhondaMary way. But anyway, y'all, all right, I'm just acting silly now. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk later this week. Bye.